will you be and why? I think this could be a great option for you. This is the GVM PR150-D. It is a 150 watt bi-color LED with a lantern, and let's take a look at it. Thank you, GVM, for sending me this PR150-D video light with lantern softbox. I think this is a really great option for those of you looking for a single light. It's not going to be for everyone, but this thing is fantastic. A bulb that's CRI 97 plus, temperature anywhere between 27 up to 7,500, so you got a really nice bicolor range. We're going to go over to JTL Studios and try it out. Like I said, I don't like to stay in my studio and try this out. Yeah, really nice app control. Of course, you have special scenes if you want to try them. I don't think GVM does exceptionally well with their scenes, but it's an option. Of course, Bowen's mount, solid construction. This one is very similar to the 300 watt and the 80 watt lamps that I already had from GVM. Mostly plastic housing, I should say 50-50, plastic housing, and then the metal fan covers and the handles and the back plates, those are all metal. So it's solid construction for sure. It doesn't feel like it's a toy. It does feel really solid. The 150 watt light, it is really sufficient for something in a large situation. The room we're going to shoot at in JTL Studios is probably about 1,000 square foot, maybe a little more. It's a good sized room that could easily consume a lot of light. You would need something more than an 80 watt. An 80 watt, you would find yourself needing more. I think the 150 fits the role perfectly. And then of course, a 300, you're more than covered. But in this instance, the light that we're looking at right now, the PR150-D, fantastic light. And the lantern, so what situation would you need a lantern? You would specifically need a lantern for situations where you're doing multiple subjects on camera. If you have two people doing an interview on camera and you want to have one central light source instead of a softbox here and a softbox there, or wherever you would put them. If you can only use one light, the lantern comes in very handy for that situation. I personally do not love using lanterns. I prefer to have more control over the light because it kind of just, of course, spreads everywhere. It is a great option if it's your single lamp. So, like you're seeing on screen right now, my face is sufficiently exposed, as well as the background, as well as the foreground. You're seeing items, you're seeing parts of the couch that are exposed properly. There's no dark areas, maybe except the shadows behind me. You're going to get shadows. I'm really close to this wall. So, of course, you're going to get shadows if you're that close. One thing I wish GVM had done better is actually with their stand. I'm not super impressed with their stands. They've now sent, I now have two of their stands, and I use them because I don't have a lot of stands. I don't particularly like the way that they fold down, and it just seems a little janky to me. It'll support the light, but not much more than that. If you're playing, you have no place to really put a sandbag if you needed. Sorry, I'm looking off screen at the stand. Yeah, it's not very tall. I think fully extended, it fits in my 7-foot ceiling here in the basement. Overall, for about $260, I don't know what it is with the softbox, $300. Somewhere in the $200 to $300 range, you'll get a great light that's really going to cover a lot of your needs. Just as a YouTuber, as a videographer, as someone producing for clients, it's a solid option. GVM really, in general, is doing a good job in making budget options, but quality options in the world of lighting. So now let's jump over to JTL Studios, where we're going to take a look at a shoot that we did with my friend Adam. Shout out to Adam and our new channel, Color Theory. We're gonna be reviewing a lot of just guy stuff, cool stuff. We're gonna be doing the e-bike again, a bunch of gear that isn't featured on this channel because this is more towards camera gear in the outdoors. Let's go over to JTL Studios. So I'm here in the studio in a really dark, controlled space, and you can see I've got 4 different lights going on here. I've got the GVM 150 overhead with the lantern. I've got the GVM 300 bicolor with a big softbox coming from the side as my key light. Sorry, I've got a backlight from the GVM 80, and I've got another 80 watt wall light, background light behind me. Let's turn them all off and leave just the lantern on. You're going to see what this lantern can actually do
and illuminate the whole set, it's really the only light you would need if you were to pick one light. So let's go ahead, I'm going to use the app and turn off all of the lights in here except for the lantern overhead. Okay, so now we're down to just the lantern overhead. It's at 31%, so we're going to bump it up just so, of course, you're going to need more light since we turned them all off. But here is the lantern, pretty much lighting your whole set, and it's a nice soft light going everywhere. You do want to be careful that you're not getting too much light going into the lens, but if you've got a nice matte box, you'll be fine with that. So yeah, this is a great light, especially for the price.
So yeah, those are my thoughts on this this really nice 150 watt light. I think it's great. I think you should check it out. Links below to that light and all the gear that I use. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.